I never thought I'd wake up in the body of the man who ruined my life. But there I was, staring into the mirror of his penthouse bathroom, his chiseled jaw and salt and pepper hair mocking me back. Ethan Hargrove, the golden boy of Silicon Valley, the tech titan who'd stolen everything from me. My hands, his hands, trembled as I touched the reflection, feeling the unfamiliar stubble scrape against my palm. And in that moment, with the city lights of San Francisco glittering like shattered glass below, I made a vow. I'd dismantle his empire brick by brick, starting with the lies he'd buried me under. It started 6 months ago, in the sterile glow of Hargrove Innovation's boardroom. I'd poured my soul into Project Nexus, a neural interface that could map human consciousness, blurring the line between mind and machine. It was revolutionary, the kind of tech that could rewrite privacy laws and make billionaires out of dreamers. I was Clara Voss, 32, the overlooked prodigy who'd clawed her way up from a trailer park in Reno to a corner office nobody noticed. Ethan, my mentor-turned-monster, had seen the demo. His eyes lit up like a shark scenting blood. "Brilliant, Clara," he'd said, clapping me on the back a little too hard. "This is gold." That night, over whiskey in his office, overlooking the bay, he proposed a partnership. We launched together. You get the credit, I handle the sharks. I believed him. God, I was that naive. The next morning, my email blew up with HR memos, embezzlement charges, fabricated wire transfers siphoning millions from R&D into offshore accounts. My accounts. Ethan's signature was nowhere, but the board's forensic accountants pinned it on me faster than a bad tweet goes viral. Corporate espionage, they called it. A desperate grab for glory. The press feasted. Rising star falls. Voss scandal rocks tech world. My face was everywhere, mugshot chic. Courtesy of the SFPD. I didn't do it. Ethan did. He'd rerouted the funds to his personal slush fund, buying that yacht docked in the marina, the one with a helipad for weekend escapes to Tahoe. But proof? Buried deeper than Jimmy Hoffa. He testified against me in the internal hearing, his voice smooth as aged bourbon. I trusted her. We all did. The board fired me on the spot, blackballed me from every VC firm in the valley. My fiancé, Mark, the steady software engineer I'd met at a hacker conference in Vegas, walked out that night. I can't build a life on sand, Clara. Friends ghosted. My parents in Reno stopped calling after the disgrace hit the local news. But the real gut punch? The secret Ethan confessed to me in a drunken haze, weeks before the frame-up. Project Nexus wasn't just tech. It was his escape hatch. He'd been diagnosed with early-onset dementia, the kind that turns titans into vegetables by 50. I need a vessel. Clara, he'd slurred, eyes wild. Something to upload into. Your code. It's perfect. I'd laughed it off as boozy paranoia. Turns out, it was Blueprint. The swap happened at the annual Hargrove Gala, a black-tie circus at the Palace of Fine Arts. I'd crashed it, desperate for a Hail Mary, maybe corner a sympathetic board member. Leak what I knew. Ethan was unveiling Nexus 2.0, a harmless demo headset linking 2 volunteer senses in real time. Volunteers? Hand-picked execs, greased with stock options. But Ethan, ever the showman, pulled me on stage when he spotted me in the crowd. The prodigal daughter returns. Flashbulbs popped like gunfire. The crowd, suits from Google, VCs from Sand Hill Road, murmured. I froze, headset in hand, his grin predatory. Let's show them reconciliation, he said, slipping on his own. The world tilted. A hum, like static in my veins. Then blackness. When I came to, the applause thundered. I was on my feet, waving, but it was his body moving, his voice thanking the crowd. Panic clawed my throat as I stumbled backstage, only to find my own body there, slumped against a velvet curtain, eyes fluttering open with my confusion.
No.
Those eyes weren't mine anymore. They stared back at me cold, calculating, triumphant. Ethan had rigged it. The demo was a full consciousness transfer, one way for him. My mind in his shell, his in mine. The crowd saw Clara Voss recover gracefully, Ethan Hargrove graciously excusing himself. By morning, Clara would be the gracious ghost, vanished into witness protection or some fabricated scandal, while Ethan ruled unchallenged, his decaying brain safe in my healthy one. I had 48 hours before the transfer locked, some neural failsafe he'd bragged about in code reviews. Time to play the part, gather dirt, and flip the switch. Or die trying. First move, access. As Ethan, I had his biometrics, iris scan, voice print, the works. I ghosted the gala early, citing a migraine, ironic, and helicoptered to his Pacific Heights mansion. The place was a fortress, smart locks, AI surveillance, a wine cellar stocked with 82 cabernets worth more than my old apartment. I raided his office first, the one with the Warhol knockoff and a desk that screamed, "I own you." His laptop hummed to life under his fingerprint. Password? Child's play. I'd coded half his security. Files spilled open. The embezzlement trail laundered through Cayman shells disguised as innovation grants. Emails to a fixer named Rocco. A ex-Blackwater type. Handle Voss permanently if she squeals. Buried deeper. The Nexus logs. Test swaps on lab rats. Then homeless vets from the Tenderloin. Their minds fried in botched trials. Ethan's notes. Voss body ideal. Young. Female. Untraceable priors. Upload success rate 92%. Rage boiled. Hot and American as road rage on the 101. This wasn't just theft, it was erasure. I'd borne his sins, the frame up to cover his dementia bribes to FDA insiders. The suicides of those test subjects hushed with NDAs and payoffs. He'd made me the fall guy for his immortality grab. But power's a drug, and I was high. I wired an anonymous tip to the SEC from his own server, traced back to a dummy IP, but enough to spook the board. Then, I called Mark. My voice, Ethan's baritone, crackled over the line. Clara's in trouble. Meet me. Usual spot. The usual spot, our old talk area in the Mission, where we'd split burritos and dream about ditching code for a cabin in Big Sur. He showed. Wary. Nursing a Modelo. Mr. Hargrove, what the hell? I slid into the booth, forcing Ethan's easy charm. It's me, Mark. Clara. Listen, his laugh was bitter. Nice try. Clara's gone radio silent after you canned her. I leaned in, whispering details only we knew. The tattoo on my hip from that Vegas bender. The way he'd proposed with a circuit board ring. His face drained. Jesus.
How?
Nexus. He swapped us. I'm trapped in here. Tears, his tears, welled. Mark's hand gripped mine, calloused from keyboard wars. We fix this. Together. For a heartbeat. It felt like home. But trust is fragile post-betrayal.
Was he in on it? No.
Mark was solid. The guy who'd driven me to Reno when Mom's cancer hit, holding my hand through chemo vigils.
Still.
I tested. Check my Clara's phone. Last text.
He did.
Paling at Ethan's taunt from my number. Enjoy the view from rock bottom. We plotted over tacos al pastor. Mark had hacker creds. He'd worm into Nexus's backend from his freelance gig at a cybersecurity firm. Revert the swap, I said. But first, we bleed him. Controversial? Hell yes. I authorized a panic sell from Ethan's portfolio, dumping Hargrove stock at market open, crashing at 15% on insider doubts. Whispers flew. Hargrove losing it. Pundits on CNBC frothed. Ethan's empire, valued at $50 billion, wobbled. Day 2 dawned with helicopters buzzing the mansion.
Feds? No.
Paparazzi? Smelling blood. Ethan, me, held a presser from the boardroom. Voice steady. Market volatility.
Folks.
Buy the dip. But backstage, I fed Mark cords for Ethan's private server farm in Oakland. He breached it at 2 a.m., pulling terabytes, victim files, including a Jane Doe from the hate who'd OD'd post-trial. Her mind scrambled. The real controversy brewed when I targeted Ethan's family. His wife, Lydia, the Botox socialite who'd lunched with me pre-fall, ignoring my pleas. She hosted fundraisers for women in tech, irony's cruel joke. I crashed her brunch at the St. Francis Yacht Club. Ethan's charm dialed to 11. Darling, we need to talk. Over mimosas. I dropped the bomb. I'm leaving you. The marriage. The facade, it's over. Her shriek echoed off the bay. After everything? The kids. Kids. Twins at Stanford. Groomed for succession. I hadn't thought of them as collateral. But Ethan's notes called them liabilities, too soft. I pressed. Leaked their daddy's dirt to the campus rag. Anonymous. Hargrove heir's father, tech emperor or embezzler? Lydia lawyered up by noon. Filing for divorce citing irreconcilable fraud. Stock dipped another 8%. The board convened emergency session. I sat at the head, Ethan's throne, watching suits sweat. Confidence is key, I intoned, channeling his bluster. But inside, Clara screamed, "This is vengeance, not justice." Was I becoming him? The decisions piled. I greenlit layoffs. 500 souls axed to streamline, their emails pinging as pink slips hit inboxes. Controversial? Unions rioted outside, chanting, "Hargrove's greed kills dreams." Protests clogged Market Street. Signs reading, "Swap the CEO." Ethan, in my body, wasn't idle. Clara surfaced in a tell-all interview on some pod save from LA. My voice trembling. Ethan abused his power. The swap, his twisted experiment. I'm the victim. Lies. Spun silk. He had holed up in a Malibu safe house, guarded by Rocco's goons. Mark traced the signal. We had a lead. Climax hit at midnight. Third night. Transfer lock in hours. I helicoptered to Malibu. Mark riding shotgun. Laptop blazing. The compound was a bunker. Razor wire. Drones humming like angry bees. We breached via service tunnel. Mark's social engineering. Posing as caterers for Clara's pity party. Inside. Opulence mocked. Infinity pool overlooking surf. My body lounging in a silk robe. Sipping Pinot. Clara? Ethan's voice from my lips. Laced with surprise. No, triumph. Or should I say,
Ethan?
come to beg. I lunged, but Rocco materialized, Glock gleaming. Boss says end it. Mark hacked the lights, blackout. Chaos, shouts, a scuffle. I tackled my own frame. Ethan's mind snarling through my teeth. You are nothing without me. Fists flew, his against his. Surreal. Mark zapped the guards with a taser from his pack. We dragged me to the Nexus rig in the basement, a Frankenstein altar of wires and screens. Revert it, I gasped, strapping him down. Mark typed furiously, sweat beading. Ethan laughed. Manic. Too late. Darling. The truth? You knew. The code, you embedded the swap protocol yourself. My failsafe. Liar. Or was he, Flash, that drunken night? His ramblings. I'd tweaked the code after. To stabilize. Had I? Dementia fear. But mine too, family history.
No. Gaslight.
Mark hit enter. Agony ripped through, neural fire. Worlds flipped. I blinked. Back in my skin. Ethan convulsing in his. But the twist, as his eyes cleared, he whispered, check the logs. Clara. You initiated the transfer. Subroutine Voss Alpha. To steal my life. Mark pulled the file. There, my digital signature. Time-stamped post-whiskey. I'd blacked out. Rage-fueled. Planting the seed. Betrayal? Mutual. I'd borne his crimes. But authored my own fall. Sirens wailed, Rocco's call. We ran. Ethan left writhing. Empire crumbled. SEC raids dawn. Headlines screaming, Hargrove implodes, swap scandal expose. I vanished with Mark to Reno. Cabin dreams real. But mirrors lie now, whose eyes stare back. Vengeance won. But at what cost? Hero or monster? You decide. The drive to Reno was a blur of taillights on I-80. The Sierra Nevadas looming like judgmental sentinels under a harvest moon. Mark gripped the wheel of his beat-up Subaru. Radio crackling with NPR dissecting the Hargrove fallout. Insiders say Voss orchestrated it all. A brilliant coup or cyberterrorism? I huddled in the passenger seat. My own hands, nails bitten to stubs, clutching a burner phone spitting alerts. Ethan stock. In free fall. Down 40%. Protests swelled. Swap the power trended. Marchers in Oakland smashing Nexus kiosks. Their placards decrying mind theft in the machine age. Controversial? The valley split. Some hailed me as whistleblower Joan of Arc. Others branded me the snake in the C-suite garden. But victory tasted like ash. That whisper in Malibu echoed. Subroutine Voss Alpha. Had I? The blackout night replayed in fragments. Ethan's scotch burning my throat. His confessions slurring into pleas. Help me. Clara. Upload me. And you get the throne. I'd nodded. Half drunk. Half dazed. Fingers flying over his laptop. For us, I'd murmured. Us, his empire. My redemption. Or revenge for every patronizing pat. Every idea he'd refined into his own. The frame-up wasn't just theft. It was erasure of my Reno roots. My trailer park grit dismissed as unpolished. I'd take his polish. His power, swap and conquer. Guilt gnawed. American style, the kind that sends you to therapy or a megachurch. Not quiet reflection. Mark glanced over. His jaw set like the day he'd buried his dad in Bakersfield. Talk to me? Clara. I stared at the dashboard. Gauges flickering like faulty code. What if he's right? What if I pulled the trigger? He pulled over at a Donner Pass rest stop. Frost-kissed pines, whispering wind. The air bit, carrying echoes of pioneer ghosts, starved, swapped stories for survival. Doesn't matter, he said, pulling me into his arms. His scent, coffee, and circuit boards grounded me. You fought back. That's not the villain's play. We kissed then, desperate, the Subaru rocking like a confessional. For a moment, it was us against the world. Pre-Hargrove. But dawn brought reality, my face on every feed, sketched as the body snatcher siren. We holed up in my parents' double-wide outside Reno, the one with the sagging porch and Virgin Mary statue guarding the propane tank.
Mom.
Her chemo glow faded to a stubborn spark, hugged me fierce. My girl's a fighter. Always was.
Dad.
Retired casino pit boss with ink-faded Elvis tats, grunted approval over Folgers. Screw the suits. You hit 'em where it hurts. They didn't pry, blue-collar code. But the news did. CNN looped gala footage, speculating Voss Hargrove tryst turned deadly swap. Deadly? Ethan's body, post-revert, had seized dementia accelerated.
They said.
Coma in UCSF Med Center. Ventilators hissing like accusations. I couldn't stay buried. Power's addicting, revenge. Its gateway drug. From the double-wide's dial-up, yeah. Still. I monitored the chaos. Lydia Hargrove's divorce filing? A bloodbath. Demanding 60% of assets plus the Tahoe ski chalet. The twins? One dropped out of Stanford. The other went viral tweeting, Dad's a fraud, family first. Board's purge, interim CEO of faceless drone. But leaks trickled, Nexus trials exposed. Lawsuits from families of the fried vets. One plaintiff. A Mission District mom. Her son a ghost at 28. He came home wrong. Staring at walls. Now I know why. My hand in that. Indirect. But the decision's haunted. Those layoffs. I'd signed off as Ethan. But Clara's conscience tallied the evictions. The ramen diets ahead. Controversial calls. I'd doxed Rocco anonymously. His Blackwater scars and war crimes splashed on WikiLeaks mirrors. Feds scooped him at LAX. Bound for a cartel connect. Justice? Or vigilantism? The Wild West reboot where code cowboys play judge. Mark pushed for normalcy. Job hunt at Reno's fledgling tech incubator. Nights hiking Virginia City trails. Ghost towns mirroring my fractured self. But Ethan stirred. Week 3. A package arrived. No return address. FedEx ghost. Inside, a Nexus prototype headset, sleek as sin, and a USB drive. Mom found me catatonic on the kitchen linoleum. Drive plugged into Dad's ancient Dell. Logs unspooled, full swap history. There it was, Voss Alpha. My code. Timestamp 2:17 a.m. Post-whiskey. But annotations. Ethan's scrawl digitized. Clara's tweak brilliant. She thinks it's stabilization. Let her.
Gaslight.
Level expert. He'd planted the seed. Whispered suggestions in my ear like a devil on rye. The frame-up? Not just embezzlement cover. He'd hacked my emails. Forging pleas for funds. Make her desperate, his memo read. Desperate signs the consent. Rage reignited. Hotter than Vegas asphalt in July. I wasn't pawn. I was provoked. The headset?
Bait.
A note in Ethan's looping script. Finish it. Clara. Upload me fully. Or watch your mark pay. Attached video. Him. In coma bed, but eyes fluttering, aware. And a still, Mark, Tuckeria booth. Time-stamped post-star reunion. Rocco's crew? Tailing. I smashed the drive. But the seed burrowed. Trust mark? Paranoia. Valley virus. I tested, slipped a tracker in his jacket during a Sparks casino run. Blackjack. His vice. He hit the tables clean, but detoured to a payphone.
Dialing.
Who? Static garbled. But coordinates pinged. Oakland server farm. My heart cracked.
No.
Mark. Solid Mark. Selling me out? For what? Hargrove hush money. Or Ethan's promise of a piece. Confrontation brewed over pot roast. Mom's recipe with canned gravy. Where'd you go last night? I asked, casual as a status update. He froze. Fork midway. Client call. Late bug.
Lie.
I played the video, payphone clip.
Crisp.
His face crumpled. American everyman. Clara. It's not. I cut him. Ethan? You sold me for stock tips.
No. Worse.
He threatened you. Said if I didn't feed him intel, he'd pin the stock dump on us both. RICO charges. Life in Supermax. Betrayal's echo chamber. Deep. Like Ethan's original sin. I'd borne the frame for his yacht fund. Now Mark bore pressure for our future. I stalled, he pleaded. Bought time. Tears hot. I shoved back. Time for what? Another swap?
Door schlemm.
Truck roar. Me peeling into the neon night. Reno's casinos beckoning like false idols. I drove to the airport. One way to SFO. Finish it. Ethan's coma ward. Sterile symphony of beeps. Nurses gliding like specters. I bribed a orderly, 100 from the glove box. Cash still king. Slipped in at 3 a.m. Headset in my purse like contraband. His body. Withered. Tube snaking. A king unthroned. Wake up, I hissed. Sinking the rig. Neural hum. His mind flickering into mine like bad reception. You're done, I said. Our consciousnesses tangled in digital limbo. His voice echoed. Ghostly. Join me. Clara. We rule together. Your code. My boardroom. Temptation. Serpent slick. Power. The twins' inheritance. Lydia's alimony dodged. Nexus perfected. Immortality for 2. Controversial? Hell. It'd rewrite ethics boards. Make us gods in a godless valley. But Reno grit won.
No.
I triggered purge. Wipe his engrams. Scattered to ether. Agony shared. Screams silent. His eyes snapped open in the bed.
Wild.
Then flatlined. Alarms wailed. I bolted. Headset melting in my fist.
Outside.
Dawn broke over the bay. Fog burning gold. Mark's text. Where are you? I love you. Fight this. Trust? A gamble. Like Dad's poker face. I called. Malibu. Now. We met at the compound.
Ghosts of that night.
I stalled for you, he said. Proof. Dummy data. Laced with viruses crashing Ethan's backups. Hero. Not heel. But the twist lingered. Logs lied? Or truth half-buried? SSC subpoena hit my burner. Voss Alpha originator sought for questioning. Had I authored my fall? Or Ethan's trap sprung? We torched the compound. Arson anonymous. Flames licking like justice deferred. Fled east. Cabin in the Rockies. Off-grid. News faded. Hargrove bankrupt. Nexus shelved. A cautionary tale for TED Talks. Yet mirrors mock. Whose decisions were those? Layoffs. Doxing. The purge? Mine. Or the monster's echo? Happy ending? We build solar panels. Hike peaks unnamed. But nights. I wake sweating. Ethan's baritone whispering. We swapped more than bodies. Debatable victory. Who's the villain now? The cabin squatted on a Colorado bluff. Aspens clawing at slate roofs like fingers from a grave. Mark and I poured sweat into it, log walls chinked with mud. A wood stove belching defiance against alpine chill. No Wi-Fi. No screens, just crackling radio from Denver. Static-laced tales of the Hargrove apocalypse. 6 months post-purge. The valley had scar tissue. Antitrust suits gutted the remnants. VCs pivoted to ethical AI. Podcasts dissected the swap that shook Silicon like a Kennedy doc. My name? Urban legend. The ghost girl who ghosted the ghoster.
But ghosts don't rest.
I woke to them nightly. Ethan's laugh in the wind. His hands on the wheel during Reno runs. Therapy? We tried Telluride shrinks. But neural trauma baffled Freudians. Mark held the line. His hands calloused from axe work. Not keyboards. You're Clara Voss, he'd say. Tracing my tattoo. Trailer queen. Code witch. Not his shadow. Love's anchor. But anchors drag. Trust frayed at edges. Every sidelong glance. A payphone phantom. Controversy stalked like a bad review. A wired exposé dropped. Clara's code. Hero or hacker? It lionized the takedown, embezzlement exposed. Victims compensated from frozen assets, but grilled the methods. Vigilante justice in VR drag. The byline sneered. Did Voss murder Hargrove's mind to save her own? Forums lit up. Reddit's r/techrevenge crown me patron saint. Feminist subs decried. Another woman burned at the stake. Protests? Evolved into policy pushes. Nexus Act in Congress. Banning consciousness, tech sans oversight. Irony my code. Midwife to its tomb. Deeper cuts came personal. Lydia Hargrove surfaced in a Vanity Fair profile. Tear-streaked in Chanel. He was stolen. And she? The thief who cried victim. The twins? One. Eliza. Penned a YA novel, Swap Sisters. Thinly veiled, hitting bestseller lists. It painted Clara as seductress. Ethan as flawed father. I read it cover to cover by lantern light. Gut twisting. Collateral? They'd lost college funds to lawsuits. Their Tahoe summers swapped for therapy couches. My decisions, those stock dumps. The family leaks rippled, drowning innocence. Worse, the buried secret unearthed. A Reno PI. Hired on a whim, Dad's old contact. Ex-Vegas enforcer. Dug into my blackout. Transcripts arrived UPS. Yellowed bar tabs from that whiskey night. Ethan hadn't just suggested. He dosed my drink, roofie trace in the autopsy talk screen. Post-coma.
Consent?
Stolen. Like my body. But the frame-up's root? Not dementia alone. Ethan's emails. Pre-me. Overtures to a biotech rival. Selling Nexus blueprints. The embezzlement? Cover for his double dip. Pinning industrial espionage on me to deflect. I'd borne not just his sins, but a corporate Cold War's fallout. Innocent grunt in spy games. Twist reversed. I wasn't provoked pawn. I was perfect patsy. Young. Ambitious. Female. The trope tech rags love to trash. Rage evolved. Not to fire, but forge. I wrote, anonymous manifesto. Swapped but not broken, serialized on dark web mirrors. It spilled. The dose night. The rigged code. The mutual madness. Revenge isn't binary, I typed. Fingers flying like old days. It's the glitch that crashes the system. It went viral underground, sparking hacker collectives. Voss vanguards coding open-source ethics tools. Mark found the draft on my laptop, our first fight in months. Bourbon fueled by the stove. You're poking the bear.
Clara.
Feds still hunt.
His eyes.
Shadowed. Echoed that payphone fear. For us, this life. I fired back, hiding's his win. I borne the blame, now I own the story. He stormed out, axe in hand, chopping cordwood till dawn. Trust's tightrope, one slip, plummet. Climax crept, not crashed. Winter solstice, snow-choked passes. A knock, not wind, but Rocco's shadow. Paroled early on cooperation. Scarred face. Eyes dead as Donner drifts. Boss left a gift. He tossed a drive. Identical to Malibu's. No threats, just loose ends. Inside, final logs. Ethan's dying upload fragment. Not plea, confession. Clara didn't kill me. I killed us.
The swap.
My suicide note. Dementia 1. She was mercy. Lies or absolution. The fragment glitched. My voice overlay. Finish it. From the purge. Mutual murder. Souls swapped in silicon hell. Rocco lingered. Thawing by the fire. Exmerk tales. Blackwater regrets. Hargrove's payroll his nadir. You ended him clean. Respect. He left with coffee. A map to unmarked graves, the vets. Buried in Nevada flats. Closure's pilgrimage. We drove. Mark shotgun. Shovels rattling. Deserts whispered sins mine. His. Theirs. At the sites. No markers, just wind-scoured earth. We planted aspens. Saplings defiant. For the forgotten, Mark said. No words needed, hands linked. We buried ghosts. Ending? Debatable as a hung jury. Spring thaws. Cabin blooms. Wild iris framing views of eternal snowcaps. Mark proposes again. Circuit ring upgraded with sapphire. I say yes. But nights. I code in secret. Nexus 3.0. Ethical echo. Mind maps for therapy. Not theft. Power reclaimed. Not revenged. But mirrors? Still debate. Hero's arc or villain's echo. Ethan's empire dust. But mine rises quiet. Contested. In America, winners write history. Survivors. The footnotes. Who's listening? You? Reader. Judge accordingly. The swap taught. Identities fluid. Revenge recursive. I won by losing everything. Or did I? Pull up a chair by the fire. Let's argue.